I was waiting Praveen Prabhu to join. He said 10 minutes, so I think 1 minute left.
So, Prabhu, what is the status of your country? I mean, is there something, everything okay?
Where, Prabhu?
So, Prabhu, in your country, I mean, due to this war, Prabhu, everything is okay or something is there dismissed?
Just everything is expensive, nothing else much happening.
Yes, Prabhu, everything is getting more and more expensive day by day.
Yes, Prabhu.
And in our country, there is a lot of problem of LPG gas.
Hmm.
Some people are going to other sources like previously they used to chulha on wood, firewood.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
seen.
So, Prabhu, can you hear the background noise in my voice?
Not much, Prabhu. You want to chant the prayers?
There is going a Ramayana in very loud voice.
Hmm. Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu. It's not audible.
Professional reciter.
Hmm. Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, you can read because there is a lot of voice.
Okay, Haribol.
I think Prabhu, Rishikesh Prabhu has left.
Yes, Prabhu. And I was waiting. The Praveen Prabhu, he's late. I was waiting for him. He got stuck somewhere. But I think he'll join in a
Okay,
few
Prabhu,
minutes.
I can read. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. If you can, you can.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjansalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Katamayam Date Saptandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Upadagam Nam Sri Kurunvastanscha Sri Rupam Dagrijatam Dagandragunatam Tam Tam Dajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्विता जय कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी रसवानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्याम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी विचारे निरुक्ते शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottam Devim Darasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Srinotam Sakata Krishna Punya Samakirtana Varityanta Staya Bhadrani Vidnoti Turitadam Nashtapraya Sabhadresu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamastuge Bhaktir Bhavatnestaki. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Bali Prabhu, Dandat Pram, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Before
Hare
reciting
Krishna,
the Srimad,
Prabhu Dandavat Pranam, Jai Sri Prabhupada.
before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By a regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. नंद गोदे वैष्णविंद की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. Okay, we start from 31. I think we left there. Oh, Hare Krishna, Praveen Prabhu Tandat Pram, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Tada Dundubayone Dur Mridangapava Panavadaya Gandharva Mukhaya Prajagu Petuh Kushuma Vristaya. Tada, at the time, Dundubaya, kettle drums. Nedu, resounded. Mridanga, drums. Panava, small drums. Adaya, Gandharva. Mukhya, the chief's residence of Gandharvaloka. Prajagu, sang. Petu, showered. Kushuma, flowers. Vrishtaya, like rains. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At the time, drums and kettle drums resounded from the sky. The chief Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers like torrents of rain upon Dhruva Maharaj. Haribol. Hare Krishna to Praveen Prabhu Standard Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Oh,
Prabhu, 2 minutes. Prabhu,
yes,
Hare Krishna, Dhanapran, yes, Prabhu. 2 minutes, Prabhu. I have some network issues.
yes, Prabhu. Sacha Svarlokamarokshyan Shunitim Jananim Dhruvaha Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Saha he, Cha also, Svarlokam to the celestial planet, Arokshan about to ascend, Suniti, Jananim mother, Dhruva Maharaj, Anvasmarat immediately remembered, Agam difficult to attain, Itva leaving behind, Dinam poor, Yasye I shall go, Trivishtapam to the Vaikuntha planet. Translation. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was just about to start, when he remembered his poor mother Suniti. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Purport. Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother Suniti. It was Suniti who gave him the clue which had enabled him to now be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother Suniti was his Pata Pradarshaka Guru. Pada Pradarshaka Guru means the Guru or spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru. Although Narada Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. Oh, really important thing. It is the duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. So we cannot say Prabhupada is not that he didn't make any one of them qualified to become guru, so we blame him. No, it depends on the disciple. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Oh, what an important point. And generally, the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman, and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narada Muni to Vaikuntha Loka, but Dhruva Maharaj thought of his mother.
So, Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, like there is some debate in ISKCON about Mahila, about women, Diksha Guru. So, Prabhu, what is our stand? I mean, ISKM stand on that, Prabhu.
Oh, here Prabhupada says that, however, being woman, especially here being a woman, one could not become Diksha Guru. So Prabhupada gives here the answer in one sentence.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. There is a practice in ISKCON nowadays that even women are becoming the gurus. Okay, but that is ideally not recommended by the Shastra. Okay,
Yes.
because women are naturally prone to different contaminations. They are not they are not what to say, qualified to become a guru. Okay, so but anyhow, every ISKCON is totally contaminated nowadays. So anyone can become a guru in that organization. But as far as our organization is concerned, ISKM, only men are qualified to become a guru, either a Siksha Guru or a Diksha Guru. Okay, but anyhow, Prabhupada is anyhow this Siksha Guru. So Diksha Guru. So other people or other personalities have becomes Siksha Guru now. And I would like to stress on that point, Prabhu. It is the duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciples. In fact, to put it in another way, see, there is a proverb in English which says in this way that a horse can be led to water, but it can't be made to drink. Okay, so here the responsibility of a Siksha Guru or a Diksha Guru is that he can take you to the water, but he cannot make you drink it. So in the same way, he can instruct a disciple how to act, how to follow the scriptures, what is the prescribed duties to be followed, and everything. But it is the responsibility of a disciple to execute whatever is being told to him.
Yes, Prabhu, this is nice analogy.
Yes, exactly. So he cannot make you go to Vaikunta because of his tapasya. You have to do the tapasya. You have to perform all those devotional activities.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry to disturb you. You can continue, Prabhu.
That was nice point. Oh, I think we
So,
were here.
So Prabhu, then what is the Kripa Siddha? I mean,
Can you please say that again? What is that?
so what is Kripa Siddha devotees, Prabhu? Like what is?
No, I haven't heard
There
you
are some
properly.
category of devotee like Kripa Siddha and Sadhan Siddha.
Oh, Kripa Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. Okay, I am not sure what it is. I mean, let me quickly see what
Yes,
that is.
I need to cheat. Let's see what Prabhupada says. There are two kinds of highly elevated devotees called Sadhana Siddha and Kripa Siddha. Sadhana Siddha refers to one who has become a devotee by regular execution of the regulative principles mentioned in the Shastras as ordered and directed by the spiritual master. If one So that's Sadhana Siddha. So what is Kripa Siddha? Is it mentioned? Not here. Bali
Kripa
Maharaj
is the
became a
mercy,
Kripa.
right?
Oh, Hare Krishna Gora Shakti Prabhu Tanda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Oh, Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances, O Gaishla Prabhupada.
Jab
Yes, carry on, Prabhu.
Dhanotram Prabhu, all glory
Oh,
to Sri Prabhupada.
Jai, all glories to you too.
I think those are them who may not have undergone all the required details of devotional service, but who, by the special mercy of Guru and Krishna, the spiritual master and the supreme person of Godhead, have immediately attained this perfection of pure devotional service. So
Yeah,
those are.
Kripa is mercy, the
Mm.
mercy.
Yes, Prabhu. Here also it is said, in Vaishnava philosophy there are three ways for perfection, namely sadhana siddha, perfection attained by executing devotional service according to the rules and regulation; nitya siddha, eternal perfection attained by never forgetting Krishna at any time; and kripa siddha, perfection attained by the mercy of the spiritual master or another Vaishnava. So kripa siddha is only mercy, and sadhana siddha is by sadhana, and the nitya siddha is never fall down. Okay, Haribol. Whatever plan the Supreme Person of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Person of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to Vaikuntha Loka in another plane. Dhruva Maharaj had thought that he was going alone to Vaikuntha Loka, leaving behind his mother, which was not very auspicious because people would criticize him for going alone to Vaikuntha Loka and not carrying him with Suniti, who had given him so much. But Dhruva also considered that he was not personally the supreme. Therefore, if Krishna fulfilled his desires, only then would it be possible. Krishna could immediately understand his mind, and he told him that his mother was also going with him. This incident proves that pure devotee like Dhruva Maharaj can fulfill all his desires by the grace of the Lord. He becomes exactly like the Lord, and thus, whenever he thinks of anything, his wish is immediately fulfilled. But I was thinking here because he was leaving his body and he was thinking of his mother. So I was thinking, is this pure because the mother was a devotee? But if the mother was not a devotee, would it have been a different situation?
So Prabhu, if his mother was not a devotee, then he also would not become a devotee in beginning.
Yes, Prabhu, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but his mother play a role very important because she instruct him to go to the forest and to surrender to the Lord
Yes,
there.
Prabhu. But
So
is this the
he
reason
is in
that
a
made it? Is this the reason that made it auspicious that he thought of his mother when he left his body? That he, because in other situations, someone would have told that this is not auspicious to think about anything else but Krishna when you leave your body.
No, it is because his mother is the reason that he went to do some austerity,
Yes, Prabhu.
and because she instruct him in the right way. I forget the name of a she's like a guru for him,
Yes,
and Prabhupada use a word, but I forgot. Huh? Perhaps you already read it. Actually, uh, uh, his mother is like a guru, because she give him the right instruction to surrender to the Lord, huh? To not do some crazy thing, but to do the right thing actually. So it is auspicious actually, because she played the role like a shiksha guru. She helped him to she gave the right instruction.
yes, Prabhu.
So this is auspicious, Prabhu. Of course, he need to. He didn't forget his mother. She was giving him the right instruction at the right moment. Can you imagine that the level of frustration he was in? And Dhruva Maharaj was such a Kshatriya, so determined. Even Narada Muni noticed that he was the next level of determination. Like Kshatriya brood was very. So that's why his mother is really, really, this is normal for me. When I read that, I said, yeah, this is quite normal because actually his mother he play a role, a very great role in his, attend to see the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. This is true.
Yeah.
So I would like to continue on next verse. Praveen Prabhu or Gaura Shakti Prabhu.
I will continue, bro. I don't have any issues.
Okay, go.
I can also read one verse and then Praveen Prabhu can
Yes,
can
I'll
go
complete
on.
the entire chapter after you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, no problem. I'm not so big reader. I just want to read one verse so that I can
Yes, thank you so much.
participate to this session. Thank you very much, Haribo. Just wait. I will. Okay. Text 33. Iti vyavashitam tasyam vyavashayam shulotamam darshayam asatul devim puloyanina gachatim. Iti, thus, vyavashitam, contemplation, tasya, of Dhruva, vyavasaya, understanding, sula uttama, the two chief associate, darshayam, asathu, showed to him, devim, exalted, sunichi, pulaha, before, yanena, by airplane, gachatim, going forward. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother, Sunichi, was going forward in another plane. Purport. This incident proves that the Shiksha or Diksha Guru who has a disciple, you see, immediately he named Shiksha or Diksha Guru. So his mother was like a Shiksha Guru, you know. So immediately when he will say this in the purport, you see, who was the disciple who strongly execute devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple, even though the instructor is not as advanced, you see. Although Sunichi was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaj, she could not go to the forest because she was a woman, nor could she execute austerity and penances as Dhruva Maharaj did. Still, Dhruva Maharaj was able to take his mother with him. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also delivered his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu. The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission, propagating Krishna consciousness, to be successful. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading now all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. So humble.
Yes, Prabhu. You know, sometimes these persons use this purport. They say, see, here, if the Diksha Guru falls, it's okay. The disciple can carry him. They say in ISKCON this happens. So the Diksha Guru falls, the disciple will carry him. They say this is normal. It
Come on. They didn't say that, you know. Come on. First of all, you become like Dhruva Maharaj. First of all, come on. Can you say that you are like Dhruva Maharaj? Can someone say that he is like Dhruva Maharaj? Dhruva Maharaj set the bar so high. Come on. This is not some type of austerity that you can imitate or even follow. Even follow the footsteps of Dhruva Maharaj is so difficult.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, this is some tapasya, I don't know how to say that, how to qualify this tapasya. This is so great.
Yes, Prabhu. But they just say that it proves that the Shiksha Guru can see. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, it's proved can be carried by disciple, even if instructor
Yeah,
is
who
not advanced.
strongly execute devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj. Come on.
Yes,
know,
Prabhu.
you should read the whole thing. Huh?
Yes,
Strongly
Prabhu, that
execute
is,
devotional
yeah,
service. Huh?
that is why the story of Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj are always astonishing, Prabhu. Even though entire Bhagavatam is so surprising with all those devotees, but these two boys, young boys, are always special because
Yeah.
they were able to achieve the ultimate goal of the human form of life in just 5 years.
Yes.
How is it possible for us? I always question myself, how can I get that devotion towards the Lord?
Yes,
It's highly
Prabhu.
This is
impossible. It's highly impossible.
yeah. There is a verse. Perhaps Sami Prabhu can you do that, Prabhu? Can you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 8:17? You know, to have pure devotional pure devotional service. It's a conversation. No, 70. Sorry, 70. It's a conversation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, and this is nice. Actually, yeah, this one. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activity in hundred and thousand of life. It can be attained only by paying one price, that is intense greed to obtain it. If
Exactly.
it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. You see? Intense greed. So if we don't have this intense greed, we are going nowhere.
Yes. Yes.
And this is what Dhruva Maharaj and even Prahlad Maharaj show us. Like, we should have intense greed to associate with the Lord. You see? So even we can meditate on this also in the morning when we chant our japa. We should have greed to associate with the Lord. Otherwise, we can chant japa for millions of years. We'll go nowhere, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Thank you for the reading
Thank you so much,
and
Prabhu.
yeah, also for the discussion. Very nice.
Very good.
Dromar is incredible, Prabhu. And he was able to see the Lord when he was just 5 years old, and he achieved that goal within 6 months of his tapasya.
Yes, that's why I said this is I don't know the word to qualify such a you know a tapasya, you know, like this is so great. When I read that, I'm always amazed by the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. He's such
Yes, Prabhu.
a nice devotee, you know, like even when Narada Muni met him, he was so focused already. Like already very determined. Even Narada Muni was surprised. He said, "Oh," because he was testing, you know. And then Dhruva Maharaj said, "No, I'm a Kshatriya. I know that I should follow your advice because you are a wise person. I know that what you are saying is true. Like I should follow that. You know, this is a fact. But actually, I'm a Kshatriya, and I can't go with that. You know, I need to do that."
Yes.
And Narada Muni was so already ready. This was just to test him, but already was so pleased actually to see such determination. And actually, this is a lesson for all of us. We should have this mood. We should have this mood, not as Dhruva Maharaj, but we should have this greed, you know, to associate with the Lord, to see the Lord, to you know, and this is when we can really progress in our bhakti. When we have this greed, this is intense greed, just like Ramadan Dara said, you know, like this is how we should perform every activity in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, so we should read this Dhruva Maharaj, you know, pastime as much as we can, you know, to inspire us, you know. And the more you read this, the more you will feel that, yeah, you have more greed, more determination to perform every activity in Krishna consciousness, you know. So that's why those pastime in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is very nectarian, you know, like this is Amrita. This is Amrita. The more you read this, and at the end, you will also read, at the end, it said that the more we read, for example, Dhruva Maharaj pastime, the more we get realization, you know, the more we progress in bhakti. So it purifies us actually. Yeah.
Yes, that is
So
missing. That is missing in us. That tivrana. The right word is tivrana. In fact,
yeah.
this is the Sanskrit word for intensity,
Mhm.
which comes
Yeah.
in the Muchukunda story in the 10th canto.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Tivrana. That tivra is missing in all of us. We have been chanting
Yes.
for years, but we don't have that enormous desire to achieve the Lord, to see the Lord, to associate with
Yeah.
the Lord. That is missing. That intensity is missing in us, in all of us.
And actually, it reminds me something that I heard from His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu because I was watching a lecture today, and he said actually all of this, you know, this intense greed, actually it will manifest in us when we serve the pure devotee. The more we serve Prabhupada, because he had this greed, and he will give us this if he is satisfied, So we need to serve him. We need to serve him as much as we can and try to satisfy Prabhupada, and then this will grow in us. The taste for hearing more and more, And when we develop this taste for hearing, then automatically, you will go to another platform, you see, because actually now even the taste for reading we don't have. We do this only for sadhana because we try to just do our sadhana, that's all. But we don't have any taste for hearing. Come on, we don't have any taste for chanting also. If we don't follow sadhana, do you think that you will spontaneously do it? No, you will not. You will not. Because we are not at this level yet, but still, at least me, I don't know you, but me, I'm sure I'm not in this, So I must force myself to read and to chant as much as I can, but this taste will come by serving the spiritual master. It is in the 1 to 17, the verse that we spoke, we recite before the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, everything is there. So to develop this taste, we need to serve the spiritual master, and then everything will come. So that's why there's no other way to satisfy the spiritual master, because he is the one who will give the mercy, the Kripa. Otherwise, we can go on like this forever. There will be no chance that we can reach this level, no chance at all. But by the mercy of Prabhupada, yes, we can. But we must serve him, and we must satisfy him, please him, When he is pleased with us, yes, just like he is pleased with his grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu, and you can see how, he had the taste, Myself, I don't have any taste. He had the taste because of his service to Srila Prabhupada. So we must make sure that we satisfy Srila Prabhupada. This is our main goal, actually. Every devotee. We should make sure that not only Srila Prabhupada, but all our Shiksha Guru, just like His Grace Prabhu and His Grace Tavai Prabhu, or even His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu, of course, but all our senior, we should make sure that they are satisfied with any service that they give us and whatever. So this is the main thing, to serve Guru, inquire from him and then serve him. This is what will bring us to that platform, Prabhu, by the mercy of the spiritual master. Sorry, I just wanted to add that. Sorry if I commit any mistake or whatever. You can also
And
tell me.
top it, you have to go through this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as well in detail as much as possible, as many times as possible. Okay, so that we can
Yes.
understand the mood of a devotee in detail and try to acquire the same mood in develop the same mood in us as well going forward.
Yes, of course. That's why we read the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but we read through Srila Prabhupada will help us.
Yes.
Without the link, we can't understand anything. So it's because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy that we can actually go into this and study, because we are linked. But actually, the main thing is that it will reveal to us, Prabhu. After some times, just like His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu now, it's revealed to him, every time you can see when he preach, he don't, everything flow. He don't even think, like he go there and there and there, because everything is revealed to him. And this is the in Bhagavad Gita, the 4:34, we must go and find a spiritual master, and then the knowledge will be revealed to us. So the point is that we must read. This is our duty now, as for me as disciple, but even those who are not initiated, this is sincerity to Srila Prabhupada. We must read his book and understand the philosophy. The more we do that, the more we progress. But everything will be revealed when we are ready, when we are pure enough, when we will become pure enough. Everything will be revealed. Just like when the Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, and then he wanted to address some prayer to the Lord, but he was only 5 years old, so he didn't know about any prayer, suitable prayers. The Lord see him so embarrassed, and then he approached Dhruva Maharaj, and he blessed him with the conch shell. And then when he blessed him with the conch shell, then everything was revealed to him. Is it not? You already read that, right? So everything was revealed to him at that time, and he was able to pray to the Lord. Is it not? Even at 5 years old. So you see, actually, it is the same thing for us. Everything will be revealed by sometimes when we become pure enough to receive it. Everything will be revealed by Srila Prabhupada himself, just like he revealed some things, I don't know, but he revealed something to His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Now we can navigate to the whole Shastra effortlessly. He didn't even, you met His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu, you can see how he navigate into everything, And yes, of course he read a lot, but this is a connection with the Parampara, Prabhu. Without the connection with the Parampara, we can't go. We can't. It can't flow like this, It can't. Even myself, when I preach here, sometimes it's not me, but others will say, "Wow, you know everything." I say, "No, I don't know nothing. Actually, I need to learn more because I'm lacking in knowledge." Actually, he say, "Yeah, but you always quote and this." Actually, we don't realize in ISKM how connected we are to the Parampara. We don't realize that we are connected to the Parampara when we preach. It's not us actually preaching; it's the whole Parampara, and it flow. And then the person in front of you, they will sometimes be scared, how much knowledge. Someone came, Gojimat in the Sunday feast here, and he was amazed. He said, "Wow, you know so much in 2 years. What? Come on, how you?" I said, "I don't know anything, but if I know something, it's by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And actually, the Ritvik is the right method because we are connected to the Parampara. This is the symptom. When it flow like this, when you can quote everything like this is because you are connected." And that's why in ISKCON they can't do that. In Gaudiya Math also. Because he never experienced this. He said, "Whoa, this is how you do that. You learn everything." I said, "No, how can I learn? This is Kali Yuga. Come on, the memory is so bad." I can't even, memorize some shloka properly. Come on. No, this is Parampara. This is the Parampara. When you want to serve your spiritual master, then Krishna will help you. No problem. He will reveal to you everything. When you want to preach, you can go. If you are sincere, you can go. The whole Parampara will be with you. You are not alone. There is no such thing. So that's why when in ISKCON, when they say, Prabhupada is dead, this is so blasphemous, so insulted. You can't say something like that. Come on. This is not proper, But yeah, this is the mood. because they are disconnected and they just do some offense. But yeah, Prabhu, actually everything will be revealed. But we must follow the order. We must follow the instruction. We must read everything. This and as many times as we can. As many times, not only one time, but many times. Always talk about this, always yeah. So this reading session is very nice, but we also should sometimes speak like this, and talk about what we read, and just like I was saying before, really reading, it's very nice, no doubt about this, but sometimes we need also to do some discussion like this. Every one of us, not only me who's speaking, but everyone can share something, just like we were doing now, because then we can memorize and we can talk more about this, and go more deeper in it. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and sorry if I disturb the whole flow of the session.
Not at all, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing your insights
Thank
as
you so
well.
much, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, just wanted to share some insight and with all of you. It was such a long time, so just wanted to add on this. Thank you very much, Praveen Prabhu. Thank you very much, all of you,
Thank you.
for this nice discussion. Now I need to leave.
Sure,
So
Prabhu.
Vanchakal
Thank you.
Patul Bachak, Pasindu Bevachak, Titanam Bhavani
Tatanam
Bivashnav
Bhavani
Bivanamunam
Vaishnava
Bhakta
Namah.
Vaishnav Linda Kijay Shila Popa Kijanta, Gola Pimanandi Hari Haribo.
Whoa.
Have a nice session, Prabhus, and thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
Let us continue, Prabhu. Shami Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Shall we? Okay. Canto 4, chapter 12, text 34. Tatra prasamsadbihi pati vaimanikaiः suraiः avakiryamano dadrishe kusumaiः kramaso grahan. Synonyms. Tatra, here and there. Prasamsadbihi. By persons engaged in... Prabhu, can you please scroll a little up? Yeah. Prasamsadbihi. By persons engaged in the praise of Dhruva Maharaj, Pati, on the path, Vaimanikaihi, carried by different types of airplanes, Suraihi, by the demigods, Avakiryamanaha, being covered, Dadrishe, could see, Kusumaihi, by flowers, Kramasaha, one after another, Grahan, all the planets of the solar system. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar system, and on the path he saw all the demigods in their airplanes showering flowers upon him like rain. Purport. There is a Vedic version, Yasmin Vijnate Sarvam Evam Vijnatam Bhavanti, which means that by knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything becomes known to the devotee. Similarly, by going to the planet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can know all the other planetary systems on the path to Vaikuntha. We should remember that Dhruva Maharaja's body was different from our bodies. While boarding the Vaikuntha airplane, his body changed to a completely spiritual golden hue. No one can surpass the higher planets in a material body. But when one gets a spiritual body, he can travel not only to the higher planetary system of this material world, but he can go even to the still higher planetary system known as Vaikuntha Loka. It is well known that Narada Muni travels everywhere, both in the spiritual and material worlds. It should be noted only that while Suniti was going to Vaikuntha Loka, she also changed her body into spiritual form. Like Sri Suniti, every mother should train her child to become a devotee like Dhruva Maharaja. Suniti instructed her son, even at the age of 5 years, to be unattached to worldly affairs and to go to the forest to search out the Supreme Lord. She never desired that her son remain at home comfortably without ever understanding austerities and penances to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every mother like Suniti must take charge, must take care of her son and train him to become a brahmachari from the age of 5 years and to undergo austerities and penances for spiritual realization. The benefit will be that if her son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world, even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotional service. Point to be noted here. Text 35. Tilokim deva yanena soti vrajya munin api prasad prasas parasad parastad yad dhruva gatir vishnu padam athabhyagat synonyms. Trilokim, the three planetary systems. Deva yanena, by the transcendental airplane. Saha dhruva ativraja, having surpassed munin, great sages, api, even parastat, beyond death, which dhruva gati, dhruva, who attained permanent life, Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, padam, abode, atha, then abhyagat, achieved. Translation: Dhruva Maharaj thus surpassed the 7 planetary systems of the great sages who are known as Saptarshi. Beyond that region, he achieved the transcendental situation of permanent life in the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. Purport: the airplane was piloted by the 2 chief associates of Lord Vishnu, namely Sunanda and Nanda. Only such spiritual astronauts can pilot their airplane beyond the 7 planets and arrive in the region of eternal blissful life. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita also, parastasmat tu bhavonyaha, that beyond this planetary system begins the spiritual sky where everything is permanent and blissful. The planets there are known as Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. Only there can one get an eternal blissful life of knowledge. Below Vaikuntha Loka is the material universe where Lord Brahma and others in Brahmaloka can live until the annihilation of this universe. But that life is not permanent. That is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma Bhuvanal Lokaha. Even if one goes to the topmost planet, one cannot achieve eternal life. Only by arriving in Vaikuntha Loka can one live an eternally blissful life. Text 36. Yad Brajamanam Swaruchaiva Sarvato Lokastrayo Hyanu Vibhrajanta Ete Yan Navrajan Jantushu Ye Nanugraha Vrajanti Bhadrani Chariti Yenisham. Synonyms: Yet, which planet? Brajamanam, illuminating, Swarucha, by self effulgence, Eva, also, Sarvataha, everywhere, Lokaha, planetary systems, Trayaha, three, he, certainly, Anu, thereupon, Vibhrachante, give off life, light, Ete, these, Eth, which planet, Na, not, Avrajat, have reached, Jantushu, to living entities, ye, those who, Ananugrahaha, not merciful, Vrajanti, reach, Bhadrani, welfare activities, Charanti, engage in, ye, those who, Anisham, constantly. Translation: the effulgent Vaikuntha planets, by whose illumination alone all the illuminating planets within the world, within the material world, give off reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entities. Only persons who constantly engage in welfare activities for other living entities can reach the Vaikuntha planets. Purport: here is a description of 2 aspects of the Vaikuntha planets. The first is that In the Vaikuntha sky, there is no need of the sun and moon. This is confirmed in the Upanishads as well as Bhagavad Gita. Natad Bhashyate Suryo na Shashanko na Pavakaha. In the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha lokas are themselves illuminated. There is therefore no need of sun, moon, or electric light. It is, in fact, the illumination of the Vaikuntha lokas which is reflected in the material sky. Only by this reflection are the suns in the material universes illuminated. After the illumination of the sun, all the stars and moons are illuminated. In other words, all the illuminaries in the material sky borrow illumination from Vaikuntha Loka. From this material world, however, people can be transferred to the Vaikuntha Loka if they incessantly engage in welfare activities for all other living entities. Such incessant welfare activities can really be performed only in Krishna consciousness. There is no other philanthropic work within this material world but Krishna consciousness which can engage a person 24 hours a day. A Krishna conscious being is always engaged in planning how to take all the suffering humanity back home, back to Godhead. Even if one is not successful in reclaiming all the fallen souls back to Godhead, still, because he is Krishna conscious, his path to Vaikuntha Loka is open. He personally becomes qualified to enter the Vaikuntha Lokas, and if anyone follows such a devotee, he also enters into Vaikuntha Loka. Others who engage in envious activities are known as karmis. Karmis are envious of one another. Simply for sense gratification, they can kill thousands of innocent animals. Jnanis are not as sinful as karmis, but they do not try to reclaim others back to Godhead. They perform austerities for their own liberation. Yogis are also engaged in self aggrandizement by trying to attain mystic powers. But devotees, Vaishnavas, who are servants of the Lord, come forward in the actual field of work in Krishna consciousness to reclaim fallen souls. Only Krishna conscious persons are eligible to enter into the spiritual world. That is clearly stated in this verse and is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, wherein the Lord says that there is no one dearer to him than those who preach the gospel of Bhagavad Gita to the world. Text 37. शान्ताः समदृशः शुद्धाः सर्वभूतानुराज्ञानाः यान्ति अज्ञसाच्युत पदम् अच्युत प्रिय बान्धवाः synonyms शान्ताः peaceful समदृशः equipoised शुद्धाः cleansed purified sarva all bhuta living entities anuranjanah pleasing yanti go anjasa as easily achyuta of the Lord padam to the abode achyuta priya with the devotees of Lord bandavaha friends. Translation: persons who are peaceful, equipoised, cleansed, and purified, and who know the art of pleasing all other living entities, keep friendship only with devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. Purport: the description of this verse fully indicates that only devotees are eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. The first point stated in the devotees are peaceful, for they have no demands for their personal sense gratification. They are simply dedicated to the service of the Lord. Karmis cannot be peaceful because they have immense demands for sense gratification. As for jnanis, they cannot be peaceful because they are too busy trying to attain liberation or merge into the existence of the Supreme. Similarly, yogis are also restless to get mystic power. But a devotee is peaceful because he is fully surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thinks of himself as completely helpless, just as a child feels complete peace in depending on the parent. So a devotee is completely peaceful for he depends on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee is equipoised. He sees everyone on the same transcendental platform. A devotee knows that although a conditioned soul has a particular type of body, according to his past fruitive activities, factually everyone is part of the Supreme Lord. A devotee sees all living entities with spiritual vision and does not discriminate on the platform of the bodily concept of life. Such qualities develop only in the association of devotees. Without the association of devotees, one cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Factually, whoever lives in this society automatically develops Krishna consciousness. Devotees are dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only dear to devotees. On this platform, only can one make progress in Krishna consciousness. Persons in Krishna consciousness or devotees of the Lord can please everyone, as is evident in the Krishna consciousness movement. We invite everyone without discrimination. We request everyone to sit down and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and take as much prasad as we can supply, and thus everyone is pleased with us. This is the qualification. Sarva Bhutanu Rajna Naha. As for purification, no one can be more pure than devotees. Anyone who once utters the name of Vishnu immediately becomes purified inside and outside. Yaha Samarte Pondarikaksham. Since a devotee constantly chants the Hare Krishna mantra, no contamination of the material world can touch him. He is therefore actually purified. मुचि यहाँ सुचि यह हया यदि कृष्ण भजे. It is said that even a cobbler or person born in the family of a cobbler can be elevated to the position of a brahmana suchi if he takes to Krishna consciousness. Any person who is purely Krishna conscious and who engages in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the purest in the whole universe. Text 38. Ityuttanapadah putro ध्रुवः कृष्ण परायणः अभूत त्रयाणां लोकानां चूडामणिर् इवामलः. Synonyms. Iti thus Uttanapada of Maharaja. Uttanapada. Putraha, the son. Dhruvaha, Dhruva Maharaj. Krishna Pada Parayanaha. Fully Krishna conscious. Abhut became Trayanam of the three Lokanam worlds. Chudamanihi, the summit jewel. Iva, like Amalaha, purified. Translation. In this way, the fully Krishna conscious Dhruva Maharaj, the exalted son of Maharaj Uttanapada, attained the summit of the three statuses of planetary systems. Purport. The exact Sanskrit terminology for Krishna consciousness is here mentioned. Krishna Parayanaha. Parayana means going forward. Anyone who is going forward to the goal of Krishna is called Krishna Parayana or fully Krishna conscious. The example of Dhruva Maharaj indicates that every Krishna conscious person can expect to reach the topmost summit of all three planetary systems within the universe. A Krishna conscious person can occupy an exalted position beyond the immigration of any ambitious materialist. Text 39. गंभीर वेगो निमिषम ज्योतिषाम चक्रम आहितम यस्मिन् ब्रह्मति कौरव्या मेध्याम इव गवाम गणः. Synonyms. गंभीर वेगः, with great force and speed. Animishram, unceasingly. Jyotisham, of luminaries. Chakram, spear. Ahitam, connected. Yasmin, around which. Brahmati, encircles. Kauravya, O Vidura, Medhyam, a central pole. Iva, as Gavam of bulls. Ganaha, a herd. Translation. Saint Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a central pole on their right side, so all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhromaraj with great force and speed. Purport: each and every planet within the universe travels at a very high speed. For a statement, from a statement in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is understood that even the sun travels 16,000 miles in a second. And from Brahma Samhita, we understand from the sloka, Echakshur Esha Savita Sakala Grahanam, that the sun is considered to be the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, and it also has a specific orbit within which it circles. Similarly, all other planets have the specific orbits, but together all of them encircle the pole star or Dhruvaloka, where the Maharaj is situated at the summit of the three worlds. We can only imagine how highly exalted the actual position of a devotee is, and certainly we cannot even conceive how exalted is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 40. Mahimanam विलोक्यास्य नारदो भगवान् ऋषिः आतोद्यं विदुतान् श्लोकान् सत्रे गायत् प्रचेतसां Synonyms: Mahimanam, glories, Vilokya, observing, Asya, of Dhruva Maharaj, Narada, the great sage, Narada, Bhagavan, equally exalted like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishihi, the saint, Atodyam, the string instrument, Veena, string instrument Veena, Vidutan, playing on Slokan, verses, Satre, in the sacrificial arena, Agayat, chanted, Prachetasam, of the Prachetasas. Translation: after observing the glories of Dhrumaraj, the great sage Narada, playing his Veena, went to the sacrificial arena of the Prachetas and very happily chanted the following three verses. Purport: the great sage Narada was the spiritual master of Dhrumaraj. Certainly, he was very glad to see his glories. As a father is very happy to see the son's advancement in every respect, so the spiritual master is very happy to observe the ascendancy of his disciple. Text 41. Narada Uvacha Nunam Sunitehe Pati Devataya's Tapah Prabhavasya Sutasya Tam Gatim Dristabhyupayan Api Veda Vadino Naivadhi Gantum Prabhavanti Kim Nripaha. Synonyms: Narada Uvacha, Narada said, Nunam, certainly, Suniteh, of Suniti, Pati Devatayaha, very much attached to her husband, Tapaha Prabhavasya, by the influence of austerity, Sutasya, of the sun, Tam, that Gatim, position, Drishtva, observing, Abhyupayan, the means, Api, although Veda Vadinaha, strict followers of the Vedic principles, or the so-called Vedantists, na, never, eva, certainly, Abhigantum, to attain, Prabhavanti, or eligible, Kim, what to speak of, Nipaha, ordinary kings. Translation: Narada said, the great sage Narada said, simply by the influence of his spiritual advancement and powerful austerity, Dhrumaraj, the son of Suniti, who was devoted to her husband, acquired an exalted position not possible even for the so-called Vedantists or strict followers of the Vedic principles to attain, not to speak of ordinary human beings. Purport: in the verse, the word Veda Vadinaha is very significant. Generally, a person who strictly follows the Vedic principles is called Vedavadi. They are also called Vedantists, who advertise themselves as followers of Vedanta philosophy but who misinterpret Vedanta. This expression is also found in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedavada Rataha, which means persons who are attached to the Vedas without understanding the purport of the Vedas. Such persons may go on talking about the Vedas or may execute austerities in their own way, but it is not possible for them to attain to such an exalted position as Dhruva Maharaj. As far as ordinary kings are concerned, it is not at all possible. The specific mention of kings is significant because formerly kings were also Rajarshis. For the kings were as good as great sages. Dhruva Maharaj was a king, and at the same time he was as learned as a great sage. But without devotional service, neither a great king, a Kshatriya, nor a great Brahmana strictly adhering to the Vedic principles can be elevated to the exalted position attained by Dhruva Maharaja. Text 42. यह पंचवर्षो गुरु गुरुदारवाक् शरैर् भिन्नेन यातो हृदयेन दूयता वनं मदादेश करो जितं प्रभुं जिगाय तद्भक्त गुणैः पराजितं synonyms. यह he who पंचवर्षः at the age of 5 years Gurudara of the wife of his father Vak Saraihi by the harsh words Bhinnena, being very much aggrieved, Yataha went Hridayena, because his heart Duyata, very much pained, Vanam, to the forest, Madadesha, according to my instruction, Karaha, acting, Ajitam, unconquerable, Prabhum, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jigaya, he defeated Tat, his Bhakta of devotees, Gunaihi with the qualities, Parajitam, conquered. Translation. The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruva Maharaj, aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unconquerable, still he defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees. Purport. The Supreme Godhead is unconquerable. No one can conquer the Lord, but he voluntarily accepts subordination to the devotional qualities of his devotees. For example, Lord Krishna accepted subordination to the control of Mother Yashoda because he was a great devotee. The Lord likes to be under the control of his devotees. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that everyone comes before the Lord and offers him exalted prayers, but the Lord does not feel as pleased when offered such prayers as he does when a devotee out of pure love chastises him as a subordinate. The Lord forgets his exalted position and willingly submits to his pure devotee. Dhruva Maharaj conquered the Supreme Lord because at a very tender age, only 5 years old, he underwent all the austerities of devotional service. This devotional service was, of course, executed under the direction of a great sage, Narada. This is the first principle of devotional service, although Guruvashrayam. In the beginning, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master, and if a devotee follows strictly the direction of the spiritual master, as Dhruva Maharaj followed the instruction of Narada Muni, then it is not difficult for him to achieve the favor of the Lord. The sum total of devotional qualities is development of unalloyed love for Krishna. This unalloyed love for Krishna can be achieved simply by hearing about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya accepted this principle that if one in any position submissively hears the transcendental message spoken by Krishna or about Krishna, then gradually he develops the quality of unalloyed love, and by that love only he can conquer the unconquerable. The Mayavadi philosophers aspire to become one with the Supreme Lord, but a devotee surpasses that position. A devotee not only becomes one in quality with the Supreme Lord, but he sometimes becomes the father, He sometimes becomes the father, mother, or master of the Lord. Arjuna also, by his devotional service, made Lord Krishna his chariot driver. He ordered the Lord, "Put my chariot here," and the Lord executed his order. These are some examples of how a devotee can acquire the exalted position of conquering the unconquerable. Text 43. यः क्षत्र बन्धुर्भुवि तस्याधिरूढम् अन्वारुरुक्षेद् अपि वर्षपूगैः षट् पञ्चवर्षो यद् अहोभिरल्पैः प्रसाद्य वैकुण्ठम् अवाप तत्पदं. Synonyms: यः, one who, Kshatrabandhu, the son of a Kshatriya, Bhuvi, on the earth, Tasya, of Dhruva, Abhirodham, the exalted position, Anu, after Arurukshet, can aspire to attain, Api, even Varsha Pugaihi, after many years, Shat Pancha Varshaha, 5 or 6 years old, yet which Ahobhi Alpaihi, after a few days, Prasadya, after pleasing Vaikuntham, the Lord, Avapa, attained Tatpadam, his abode. Translation: Dhromaraj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years after undergoing austerity for 6 months. Alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerities for many, many years. Purport: Dhromaraj is described here as Kshatrabandhu, which indicates that he was not fully trained as a Kshatriya because he was only 5 years old. He was not a mature Kshatriya. A Kshatriya or Brahmana has to take training. A boy born in the family of a Brahmana is not immediately a Brahmana, but he has to take up the training and the purificatory process. The great sage Narada Muni was very proud of having a devotee disciple like Dhruva Maharaj. He had many other disciples, but he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj because in one lifetime, by dint of his severe penances and austerities, he had achieved Vaikuntha, which was never achieved by any other king's son or Rajarshi throughout the whole universe. There is the instance of the great King Bharata Maharaj, who was also a great devotee, but he attained Vaikuntha Loka in 3 lives. In the first life, although he executed austerities in the forest, he became a victim of too much affection for a small deer, and in his next life, he had to take birth as a deer. Although he had a deer's body, he remembered his spiritual position, but he still had to wait until the next life for perfection. In the next life, he took birth as Jada Bharata. Of course, in that life, he was completely freed from all material entanglement and he attained perfection and was elevated to Vaikuntha Loka. The lesson from the life of Dhruva Maharaj is that if one likes, one can attain Vaikuntha Loka in one life without waiting for many other lives. My Guru Maharaj, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Loka in this life without waiting for another life to execute devotional service. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruva Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha Loka and go back home, back to Godhead in one life. Beautiful. Text 44. मैत्रेय उवाच एतत्ते बिभीतं सर्वं यत्पृष्टोऽहम् इह त्वया ध्रुवस्योद्दाम वससस् चरितं समतं सतां. Synonyms: Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya said, Etat, this, te, unto you, abhihitam, described, sarvam, everything, yet, what, prishtaham, I was asked, yeah, here, tvaya, by you, Dhruvasya, of Dhruva Maharaj, Uddama, greatly uplifting, Vashasaha, whose reputation, charitam, character, sammatam, approved, satam by great devotees. Translation: The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, whatever you have asked from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruva Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. Purport: Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means everything in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whether we hear the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord or we hear about the character, reputation, and activities of his devotees, they are all one and the same. Neophyte devotees simply try to understand the pastimes of the Lord and are not very interested to hear about the activities of his devotees, but such discrimination should not be indulged in by any real devotee. Sometimes less intelligent men try to hear about the rasa trance of Krishna and do not take care to hear about other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam, which they completely avoid. There are professional Bhagavata reciters who abruptly go to the Rasa Leela chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam as if other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam were useless. This kind of discrimination and abrupt adoption of the Rasalila pastimes of the Lord is not approved by the Acharyas. A sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam, for the beginning verses describe that it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. Devotees should not try to avoid even a word of Srimad Bhagavatam. The great sage Narada, come down to the great sage Maitreya therefore affirmed herein that Bhagavatam is Sammatam Satam, approved by great devotees. Text 45. Dhanyam Yashasyam Ayushyam Punyam Sasti Ayanam Mahat Swargyam Dravyam Saumanasyam Prasasyam Agha Marshanam. Synonyms: Dhanyam, bestowing wealth; Yashasyam, bestowing reputation; Ayushyam, increasing duration of life; Punyam, sacred; Swasti, Ayanam, creating auspiciousness; Mahat, great; Swargyam, bestowing achievement of heavenly planets; Dravyam, of Dhruvaloka; Saumanasyam, pleasing to the mind; Prasasyam, glorious; Aga Marshanam, counteracting all kinds of sinful activities. Translation: By hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to a heavenly planet or can attain Dhruvaloka, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because it is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions. Purport: There are three types of men in this world, not all of them pure devotees. Some are karmis, describing to acquire some are karmis desiring to acquire vast wealth. There are also persons who are only after reputation. Some desire to be elevated to the heavenly planets or to go to Dhruvaloka, and others want to please the demigods to get material profits. Herein it is recommended by Maitreya that every one of them can hear the narration about Dhruva Maharaj and thus get their desired goal. It is recommended that the devotees, Akama, the Karmis, Sarvakama, and Jnanis who desire to be liberated, Mokshakama, should all worship the Supreme Personality of God to acquire their desired goals of life. Similarly, if anyone hears about the activities of the Lord's devotee, he can achieve the same result. There is no difference between the activities and character of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his pure devotees. Text 46. Srutvaichat श्रद्धयाभिषणम् अच्युतप्रिय चेष्टितं भवेद् भक्तिर् भगवती yaya syat klesha Sankshayeha synonyms Srutva by hearing etad this Shraddhaya with faith Abhikshanam repeatedly Achyuta to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Priya dear Cheshtitam activities Bhavet develops Bhakti devotion Bhagavati unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Yaya by which Syat must be Klesha of miseries Sankshayaha complete diminution. Translation: Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character, attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material world. Maybe come down, bro. Of material life. Purport. Here, the word Achyutapriya is very significant. Droma Raja's character and reputation are great because he is very dear to Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord are pleasing to hear, so hearing about his devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Person is also pleasing and potent. If one simply reads over and over again about Droma Raj by hearing and reading this chapter, he can attain the highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, he gets the chance to become a great devotee. To become a great devotee means to finish all miserable conditions of materialistic life. Text 47. Mahatvam ichchatam tirtham shrotuh shiladayo gunah yatra tejas tada ichunam mano yatra manasvinam synonyms mahatvam greatness ichchatam for those desiring tirtham the process shrotuh of the hearer shila adaya high character etc. Gunaha, qualities, yatra, in which tejaha, prowess, tat, that, ichunam, of those who desire, manaha, adoration, yatra, in which manasvinam, for thoughtful men. Translation: Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj acquires exalted qualities like him. For anyone who desires greatness, prowess, or influence, here is the process to acquire them, and for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the process, here is the proper means. Purport: in the material world, everyone is after profit, respectability, and reputation. Everyone wants the supreme exalted position, and everyone wants to hear about the great qualities of exalted persons. All ambitions which are desirable for great persons can be fulfilled simply by reading and understanding the narration of Droma Raja's activities. Text 48. Prayatah kirtayet pratah samavaye manam sayam cha punya slokasya dhruvasya charitam mahat. Synonyms: Prayatah, with great care. Kirtayet, one should chant. Pratah, in the morning. Samavaye, in the association. Dvi Janmanam, of the twice born. Sayam, in the evening. Cha, also. Punya Slokasya, of sacred renown. Dhruvasya, of Dhruva. Charitam, character. Mahat, great. Translation: one should maybe. The great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dromaras both in the morning and the evening with great attention and care in a society of Brahmanas or other twice born persons. Purport: it is said that only in the association of devotees can one understand the importance of the character and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. In this verse, it is especially recommended that Dhromaraja's character should be discussed in a society of the twice born, which refers to the qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. One should especially seek the society of Brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. Thus, discussion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which quickly effective. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been organized for this purpose. In every center of this society, not only in the morning, evening, or noon, but practically 24 hours a day, there is continuous devotional service going on. Anyone who comes in contact with the society automatically becomes a devotee. We have actual experience that many karmis and others come to the society and find a very pleasing and peaceful atmosphere in the temples of ISKCON. In this verse, the word Dvijam Manam means of the twice born. Anyone can join the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and be initiated to become twice born. As recommended by Sanatana Goswami, by the process of initiation and authorized training, any man can become twice born. The first birth is made possible by the parent, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual father and Vedic knowledge. Unless one is twice born, one cannot understand the transcendental characteristics of the Lord and his devotees. Study of the Vedas is therefore forbidden for Sudras. Simply by academic qualifications, a Sudra cannot understand the transcendental science. At the present moment, throughout the entire world, the education system is geared to produce Sudras. A big technologist is no more than a big Sudra. Kalo Sudra Sambhava. In the age of Kali, everyone is a Sudra. Because the whole population of the world consists only of Sudras, there is therefore a decline of spiritual knowledge and people are unhappy. The Krishna consciousness movement has been started especially to create qualified Brahmanas to broadcast spiritual knowledge all over the world, for thus people may become very happy. Texts 49 and 50. Paurnamasyam Sinivalyam Dwadasyam Shravane Thava Dinakshye Vyatipate Sankrame Akradini Api Va Shravayech Chan Shraddhadhana Nam Tirthapada Padashrayah Nityams Nityams Nechams Pratatmanatmanam Santushta iti Siddhyati. Synonyms: Paurnamasyam on the full moon, Sinivalyam on the dark moon, Dwadasyam on the day after Ekadashi, Shravane during the Shravana star's appearance, Athava or Dinakshaye at the end of the Tithi, Yatipate a particular day of the name, Sankrame at the end of the month, Arkadine on Sunday, Api also, Va or Shravayet, one should recite Shraddha Dhananam to a respective audience, Tirtha Pada of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Pada Ashrayaha, taken shelter of the lotus feet, Na Ichan, without desiring remuneration, Tatra, there, Atmana, by the self, Atmanam, the mind, Santushtaha, pacified. Iti thus siddhyati becomes perfect. Translation: persons who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord should recite this narration of Dhromaraj without taking remuneration. So, specifically, recitation is recommended on the full moon or dark moon day or the day after Ekadasi on the appearance of the Shravana star at the end of a particular tithi or the occasion of Vitipata at the end of the month or on Sunday. Such recitation should, of course, be performed before a favorable audience. When recitation is performed this way, without professional motive, the reciter and audience become perfect. Purport. Professional reciters may ask money to extinguish the blazing fire within their bellies, but they cannot make any spiritual improvement or become perfect. It is therefore strictly forbidden to recite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as a profession to earn a livelihood. Only one who is completely surrendered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God, depending fully on Him for personal maintenance or even for maintenance of his family, can attain perfection by recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narrations of the pastimes of the Lord and His devotees. The process can be summarized as follows: the audience must be faithfully receptive to the Bhagavata message, and the reciter should completely depend on the personality of Godhead. Bhagavata recitation must not be a business. If done in the right way, not only does the reciter achieve perfect satisfaction, but the Lord also is very satisfied with the reciter and the audience, and thus both are liberated from material bondage simply by the process of hearing. Next 51. Jnanam ajnata tatvaya yo dadyat satpate mritam कृपालोर्दीन नाथस्य देवास तस्यानुग्रह ग्रहणते synonyms तस्यानुगृह्णते synonyms ज्ञानम knowledge ajnata tatvaya to those who are unaware of the truth yaha one who dadyat imparts satpathe on the path of truth amritam immortality kripaloh kind Dina Nathasya, protector of the poor, Deva, the demigods, Tasya, to him, Anugrahanate, give blessings. Translation: the narration of Dhromaraj is sublime knowledge for the attainment of immortality. Persons who are unaware of the absolute truth can be led to the path of truth. Those who, out of transcendental kindness, take on the responsibility of becoming master protectors of the poor living entities automatically gain the interest and blessings of the demigods. Purport: Jnanam Ajnata means knowledge which is unknown almost throughout the entire world. No one knows actually what is the absolute truth. Come on, bro.
Oh, you froze, Prabhu. Oh no, nothing.
Materialists are very proud of their advancement in education, in philosophical speculation, and in scientific knowledge, but no one actually knows what the absolute truth is. The great sage Maitreya therefore recommends that to enlighten people about the absolute truth, tattva, devotees should preach the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the entire world. Srila Vyasadeva especially compiled this great literature of scientific knowledge because people are completely unaware of the absolute truth. In the beginning of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, it is said that Vyasadeva, the learned sage, compiled this great Bhagavata Purana just to stop the ignorance of the mass of people. Because people do not know the absolute truth, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was specifically compiled by Vyasadeva under the instruction of Narada. Generally, even though people are interested in understanding the truth, they take to speculation and reach at most the conception of impersonal Brahman, but very few men actually know the personality of Godhead. Recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically meant to enlighten people about the absolute truth, the the supreme personality of Godhead. Although there is no fundamental difference between impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the supreme person, still factual immortality cannot be obtained unless and until one attains the stage of associating with the Supreme Person. Devotional service, which leads to the association of the Supreme Lord, is actually immortality. Pure duty is out of compassion for the fallen souls, or kripalu, very kind to people in general. They distinguish this Bhagavata knowledge all over the world. A kind-hearted devotee is called Dina Natha, protector of the poor, ignorant mass of people. Lord Krishna is also known as Dina Natha or Dina Bandhu, the master or actual friend of the poor living entities, and his pure devotee also takes the same position of Dinanatha. The Dinanathas or devotees of Lord Krishna who preach the path of devotional service become the favorites of the demigods. Generally, persons are interested in worshipping the demigods, especially Lord Shiva, in order to obtain material benefits. But a pure devotee who engages in preaching the principles of devotional service as prescribed in the Srimad Bhagavatam does not need to separately worship the demigods. The demigods are automatically pleased with him and offer all the blessings within their capacity. As by watering the root of a tree, the leaves and branches are automatically watered, so by executing pure devotional service to the Lord, the branches, twigs, and leaves of the Lord, known as demigods, are automatically pleased with the devotee and they offer all benediction. Text 52. Idam maya hitam कुराद्वहां ध्रुवस्य विख्यात विशुद्ध कर्मणं हित्वार्थकः क्रीडनकानि मातुर्गृहं च विष्णुं शरणं यो जगाम शरणं idam this maya by me te unto you abhihitam described kuru Udvaha, oh great one among the Kurus, Dhruvasya of Dhruva, Vikhyata, very famous, Visuddha, very pure, Karmanaha, whose activities, Hitva, giving up, Arbakaha, child, Kredanakani, toys and playthings, Matuhu, of his mother, Griham, home, Cha, also Vishnu, to Lord Vishnu, Sharanam, shelter, Yaha, one who, Jagama, went. Translation: the transcendental activities of Dhrumaraj are all well known all over the world, and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhrumaraj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. My dear Vidura, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all in its details. Purport. It is said by Chanakya Pandit that life is certainly short for everyone, but if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for a generation. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is everlastingly famous. So, the reputation of Lord Krishna's devotee is also everlasting. Therefore, in describing Droma Raja's activities, two specific words have been used: Vikhyata, very famous, and Visuddha, transcendental. Dhruva Maharaja's leaving home at a tender age and taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the forest is a unique example in this world. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 12th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Dhruva Maharaja goes back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Haribo, Dhruva Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Okay, next chapter. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading.
Thank you.
How long is the next one? Do you know by memory?
I don't remember it exactly. 1 second, let me see.
Yes.
What is the next one? Is it 13th?
Yes, Prabhu.
13th chapter. One second. Chapter. 49, bro. There are 14 verses in
Yes,
13th
Prabhu.
chapter.
Okay, we read it tomorrow. Haribo.
Sure.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम्ना मकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशं ह्याजनि नानुरागः गृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पद्मं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूळि सदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृतया गिरा पुलकैर्निशितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृष्यायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्टवापादरतां पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Haribo. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Oh my
Oh
lord,
my
you are both.
Lord, your will alone can enter all existing beings, and those you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and wasted all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna,
Son of
I am.
Maharaj,
Please continue, bro. Please continue.
I am your eternal servant, or other. I fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the autumns at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be?
Oh my
When
Lord,
will
when
my
will my
eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hair of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know
I know no one but
one.
Krishna as my Lord, and he shall handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. श्री 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 अष्टकम की जय, चैतन्य
Jai.
महाप्रभु की जय,
Jai.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, जय गौर
Jai.
हरि हरि बोल.
Hari Hari Bol. Bahujana Karaya Dishamana Kitan, Tabutana Paya Krishna Pale Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Tenth offense is not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya cha, patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namo Namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Jai.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
Hari Bol.
Ribol.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Praveen Prabhu, for
Hare
leading
Krishna
us.
Prabhu. Great sense of our Guru Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.